Lexington, Kentucky. It's the top-ranked team in the land, the Bulldogs of Mississippi State, against the 5-2 Kentucky Wildcats. Take a look at the current SEC West standings. Despite their third ranking, Ole Miss technically a half game in front. Alabama and Auburn, along with LSU, all still very much in the chase. And this is unprecedented. The AP top 5. How did Florida State sneak in there? Well, they beat Notre Dame the other night. Hi, once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. We welcome you to Lexington. This is uncharted territory for the Bulldogs, Gary. First time in the history of the program they've ever played a game as number one. How do they handle this?
Well, I think the word for Mississippi State, Vern, is probably maturity. I mean, this is tough. I mean, it's tough for NFL players to handle all this talk about being the best team in the country. There's no experience being number one in the country. They have to really rely on the veterans to say, hey, we've seen the bottom, now we're at the top. The real formula is to play hard. This is a team that's built to play on the road. We'll see if they can do it.
No team has ever done what they've accomplished. Mississippi State has gone from unranked to top-ranked in 5 weeks. How have they done it?
Well, they've done it by building a football team I think Dan Mullen has at every level. He's gotten veteran players. Maybe they weren't the highest recruited, but they performed. Whether it's defensive linemen, linebackers, wide receiver, running backs, the talent is there. But let's be honest, if you don't have the quarterback, it's not going to work. And Dan Mullen has found the quarterback. Not only is he performing on the field, he's the toughness of the football team. He's the emotional leader. He really is the face of Mississippi State football. He does it with his legs, and he does it with his arms. He's having a Heisman Trophy type season, but he's going to have to do it amid that schedule that Vern showed you, the toughest schedule in college football. There's a lot in front of him.
Well, Gary and I were here in 2007, our last visit here, as a matter of fact. On that afternoon, we saw top-ranked LSU come in, and Kentucky won it in 3 overtimes. Can this team knock off the top-ranked team?
There are some similarities, Vern. There's a lot of athletes on this team. They are not devoid of playmakers. They might not have as much maturity in the veteran leadership, but they got guys that can make plays. These are the guys on defense that I think have to come through, though. Defensive linemen, Melvin Lewis, they have to stop that running game up front. Got to get a pass rush. They got one of the best in the league in Alvin Bud Dupree. But the secondary needs some playmakers, and they got one in A.J. Stamps. They need that help for their quarterback because, as you mentioned in the open, Patrick Tolles, he's a gamer, and he's talented. He's got elite arm strength. If he gets a little bit of help, this is a tough hombre, and he's cocky, and he can throw the ball. They might just have a sniff in the fourth quarter.
Gorgeous day in Lexington. And we'll return with more after this. Well, Stadium. Now we take you to First on the Field, presented by Microsoft Surface. And first on the field, the Wildcats, undefeated at home this year at 5-2 overall. Right behind them, the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. As we mentioned, first time they have ever played as the #1 team in the land, and they get to take that top ranking on the road. And a moment ago, Allie LaForce with Mark Stoops.
Coach, this scene reminds a lot of Kentucky fans of 2007 when #1 LSU came to Kentucky. They left with the loss. What does this Kentucky team need to do to pull off an upset?
Well, I hope we play like that, come away with the victory. But our team's ready to go. It's a great atmosphere, and we're excited.
Coach, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
Vern, I like what Patrick Tolles told us. I didn't come here to compete. I came here to win these type of games.
And Allie LaForce has moved to the other side of the field. And again, a moment ago, here is Allie with Dan Mullen.
Coach, this is your first game playing as the #1 team in the country, coming off of a bye week. How have you kept your players grounded?
Well, they understand we're in the SEC. We haven't accomplished a whole lot in this conference yet, and we got to play in tough environments like this every single week. So we got a huge challenge, and it's a great football team today. When we don't play our best game, we're not going to be #1 for long.
What's the status of Jamie and Lewis?
He felt great in warm-ups. He's going to try to give it a go show out here today.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, that's good news for the Bulldogs.
Vern, how about this? That rise has been so fast. The last road game for Mississippi State, they were unranked.
Well, they defeated 3 ranked teams in succession to grab this top spot. Logan Cook will kick off 3rd week in a row. Devin Bell in pregame warm-ups 3 games ago pulled a groin muscle. We thought he was going to be able to go today, and obviously in warm-ups it was decided Kentucky leads the overall series by 1 game. No, I was not there for the first. Mississippi State has won the last 5. DeMarco Robinson is deep along with J.D. Harmon. The usual kick returner, Stanley Boom Williams, unable to go today. Head injury sustained in the last game. Touchback. And yeah, cue the cow. Took him longer than I thought. Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Patrick Tolles.
They like to get him off quickly in this football game, a little bit like Johnny Manziel, Vern. Maybe a quick short pass, and they like to run him early in the game. He's a very competitive, high-strung guy. Let's see if they start him with a short pass and maybe a quarterback draw early.
Large young man, 6'5". Braylon Hurd is the starting running back. Number 5, they will use 3 running backs in the ball game. And Tolles will throw on first down, perhaps. Dumps it. Caught. DeMarco Robinson, number 9, makes the catch. And the remainder of the offense, Miller, perhaps the best of the offensive line. They've got John Toth in the middle, sophomore, steady player. Myers and Swindle. And Ronnie Shields gets the start at tight end. 2nd down and 5.
See if they run him here. They love to run him early. Yep, there's a quarterback keeper.
What they said yesterday, he runs better than you think.
Yeah, he's an elite athlete, a high school track guy, high jumper in high school, basketball player. But coaching staff here likes to get him into the feel of the game by getting him hit early. That's kind of the strategy. You watch 3 or 4 games, they do it almost every game.
That's a 1st down and 10. Play action. Tolles goes deep. 1-on-1, deep, tipped and incomplete. Intended for Garrett Johnson, defended by Jamerson Love.
That was a poor throw that time. They had to play a double post, a crossing route and a post behind it. The ball was thrown too far up the field. It should have been thrown way out to the side of the hash. If he'd have led that ball way in the middle, that was a big completion. That was a poor throw.
And Tolles knows that, obviously. 2nd down and 10. Hand it off, come to the left. It's Braylon Hurd, number 5. 5'11", 190-pounder, the tackle, Ryan Brown. Defensively for Mississippi State, you've got Brown, Jones, Yules, and Preston Smith. 3 times the SEC Defensive Player of the Week. That was earlier. Matthew Wells also garnering some tributes for playing very well. Bernardrick McKinney in the middle of real force, number 50. 4 wides on 3rd and 10. 4-man rush. Tolles, that could be too much. Yeah. Intended for Garrett Johnson.
That's how solid. The same strategy that LSU used against Kentucky is what Mississippi State just did right there. They went man-to-man. LSU did that. They said, we don't believe those young receivers can do it, and they didn't on that play. Great coverage. Landon
Foster, the 3-year starting punter, and Jamortal Graham is back. And that loss last week at LSU, Kentucky special teams were really awful.
Yeah, awful.
And this is a fair catch. They did allow a 67-yard punt return for a touchdown and falling behind at LSU 17-0. 43-yard punt, nothing on the return. He's a junior from Houghton, Louisiana, and he is in the middle of the Heisman conversation, Dak Prescott. With the game so far, don't you think? And we make the transition from a Bulldog to a cow. It's the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And here is Dak Prescott.
For the last two games, Kentucky's given up 282 and 300 yards rushing. Will Mississippi State try to establish the run game early against Kentucky?
First down 10. Josh Robinson. Prescott. That's caught up at the 25-yard line. Malcolm Johnson, the tight end, with the catch. Clausell, Malone, Dylan Day, Beckwith, Josh Robinson, very effective. He calls himself the bowling ball. And Gabe Miles listed as a starter, but he is given way to Janion Lewis, number 4, who is back after a 2-game absence. Up the middle she goes, and that is Josh Robinson. Well, they said it was a pre-game, game-time decision for Janion Lewis, and glad to have him back.
Yeah, there he is. Well, Kentucky's not glad to see him.
No.
He caught a touchdown pass, threw a touchdown pass, and ran for a touchdown last year against these guys.
And so did Dak Prescott. First down and 10. Flips it into the flat. Robinson, look at it.
Two things there. Great protection. I mean, this is a pass rushing team for Kentucky in 2013 that had 4 sacks against Dak. The protection, he went to his 3rd receiver that time.
And it's a first down 10 after the 11-yard gain. Play action. A little short pass to Malcolm Johnson, the tight end. Defensively for the Wildcats. Lewis, Douglas, Smith. A.J. Stamps, a junior college transfer regarded by many as the best in the secondary so far this year. First and 10. Here's the change.
And Kentucky switched out of it.
Robinson, no. Zadarius Smith, number 94, stayed home.
Now, Mark Stoops knows how to draw up a defense, and he also knows that Dan Mullen is calling plays at the line of scrimmage. When Dak checked into a different play, Mark Stoops and his defense checked into another one. Great defense by Kentucky right there.
Loss of 1, second and 11. Quick flip into the flat. That's Gabe Miles. He's got a first down.
Boy, has Gabe Miles come on. You know, he was a high school quarterback and got his playing time, as Vern told you, with injury to Lewis. And he's come through. You can see his athletic ability. He's still learning how to be a wide receiver.
Hometown product out of Starkville, home of Mississippi State University. And first down 10. Prescott, fall down by Bud Dupre.
Well, the blitz package confused Mississippi State there. Got a free rusher and had to get out of it. I think from the left side, I'm not exactly sure who it was. Well, watch, a free rusher comes exactly in. But it's not just any free rusher. It's the best free rusher in the SEC. The SEC's sack leader career. Nobody blocks him.
Active sack leader. He's got 19. That'll count as 20. And this is Fred Ross, number 8.
Boy, I tell you, it's just hard to give, you know, the way Kentucky's aligning right now, they're giving those wide receiver bubble screens to Mississippi State. That's a little too easy. I call them push yards, combination of rush and pass.
First down 10 again. Snap is a little high. Robinson hit at the line. Bounces, great resiliency.
Well, we talked about in the open how Mississippi State is put together at every level. And just as important, Dan told us in our interview before, at Florida, he never had a tailback like Robinson, where I could just hand him the ball and he can make positive yards.
That's a gain of 6 and the second down and 4. Prescott will keep it. And he pulls it.
Yeah, he
did really.
it.
He recovered
it. Back.
Yep.
Yes. Yep, I got a hand right on it, inside. Was it Lewis, Melvin Lewis?
It was indeed.
Yes.
Lewis, number 90, stripped the ball. They got a good bounce for Mississippi State. It's 3rd and 1.
Now, we talked about this 3rd and 1 with these big quarterbacks, Tebow or Cam Newton. It's big advantage right here.
They hand it instead to Robinson. Strolls in almost untouched. Well, that's a fairly decent opening drive.
I would say a mix, a few gimme plays. They threw the ball 3 times behind the line of scrimmage and gained 12 yards on each one. That softened up the defense, and then they give it to the big guy. Nice block that time by Justin Malone, number 70, pulling around and pinning his guy.
Evan Sobiesk is on to try the extra point. He's now 30 of 32 for the season. Robinson and Prescott leading the way. A 12-yard rumble by Robinson. Josh Robinson. And the Bulldogs on top early, 7-0. You betcha, thank you. 82-yard drive. 11 plays. Mississippi State. Josh Robinson gets the touchdown rather easily. And that is his 6th straight game with a rushing touchdown. Logan Cook will kick off again. DeMarco Robinson, J.D. Harmon are the 2 deep men. That's Robinson to the left. Little dancing on the Mississippi State sidelines. Here's Cook. DeMarco Robinson hit from behind by his own man. And let's take another look, Gary, at that touchdown run.
Well, people wonder why people put guys in motion. Watch the lack of eye discipline by Forrest, the linebacker. When the guy goes in motion, he moves out and allows the block by number 6, Malcolm Johnson, just to step outside, and then he makes the block by number 6. That's why they put those guys in that fast motion. If you don't have the discipline inside by Josh Forrest, and remember, it's a new spot for him this year at linebacker, you can get mesmerized. You have to have the high discipline.
Number 45, this is his 4th position. He was a wide receiver 2 years ago. And here is Tolles. Oh boy, he's buried. A.J. Jefferson, number 47, and Christian Holmes, number 44. That's Holmes.
Yeah, this is a veteran team that has seen a lot. You know, they face quarterback runs. A little help for this running game, but I think Patrick Tolles is going to have to loosen him up with his arm. He's had one chance for a big one, and he's missed.
Blitz. Nope. Nothing there for Braylon Hurd. He got a couple. Christian Holmes again, number 44. This Mississippi State defensive unit, some have said it's the best front 7 defensively in the SEC.
Well, I believe they're the best 4 inside tackles, and then they've got a future NFL player playing middle linebacker. Yeah, you almost can close your eyes. Those front 7, they're all good.
3rd and 9. John Toth snaps it back. Tolles retreats, has to run. Got it, I think.
It's very close.
Yeah, it is very close.
I think he's going to get the spot, though.
He is.
Vern, you mentioned that he's a little better athlete than people give him credit for. Usually 6'5" guys don't have that quickness, but that time, you know, he got up there and made that first down.
Grew up in Fort Thomas, Kentucky. The family has moved to Paris, Kentucky, but parents and grandparents are here. First down and 10. Delayed draw.
Play inside.
A.J. Jefferson again, number 47.
And Mississippi State has already substituted on defense. Christian Holmes and Richie Brown, number 44 and 39, are in the game at linebacker. So, again, Jeff Collins looking for the long run. He has belief that he has a 1A, 1B group, and he commits to it by playing his backups early.
Zach Jackson and Nelson Adams are also in there. There we go.
Yep, look at that play.
DeMarco Robinson on the missed tackle. No flags. Touchdown, Kentucky. That's his first touchdown of the year, though it is not his longest reception of the year.
That's what arm strength gives you. When you can get the ball clear across the field, then you have a chance for your receiver to break a tackle and make a play. All right. They reviewing whether he stepped out?
The previous play is under further review.
Must be it.
Yeah, they're reviewing whether DeMarco Robinson stepped out, but what a zip. Guns it across. Delando Cleveland's in the coverage. Cleveland has to make that play. He's in one-on-one coverage. Now was his right foot out before he even got started. There's two looks there. After the tackle, he never touched it. But right at the play, right? No, a little earlier than, no, he was in, wasn't he?
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah, that's going to hold up.
So Delando Cleveland, number 31, missed the tackle, and then Zach Johnson, number 14, gave chase. Hubert Owens is our referee today.
And we talk about all those freshman receivers for Kentucky, but DeMarco Robinson, a senior, comes through with the first big play, playing man-to-man coverage on the outside, does not go out of bounds, and a guy who was suspended and then almost dismissed from this Kentucky football team begged his way back on. Mark Stoops gave him another chance, and he's tied up the score here.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
That's Robinson to the left. Gary just mentioned it. Stoops suspended him for the last two games last year. And then he had some off-the-field problems in January. Mark Stoops almost kicked him off the team. But he came back and makes a big play.
He asked for one more chance, and it paid off today, didn't it?
Austin McGinnis will kick the extra point. Mentioned that Robinson has just got his first touchdown pass. That was 67. He earlier this year had a 79-yard reception.
Yeah, it was one-on-one coverage to the outside. And remember, this is the left hash. So that ball's going all the way across. And when I said he's got elite talent, one-on-one coverage, and listen, they're going to make throws and catches if you're Mississippi State. In man-on-man coverage, what you have to do is let it be a first down, not a touchdown.
So, in the first quarter in Lexington, we are tied 7-7. Well, Stadium today, the attendance last year in Mark Stoops' first year increased by 10,000 per game. There is a buzz here in Lexington. DeMarco Robinson helps elevate that buzz with a 67-yard touchdown reception.
You know, when a guy has a 67-yard touchdown, you think that's the key play. But it might have been the third down scramble by Tolles before to get that first down and keep it alive. Because Mississippi State had him stopped.
Yep. And you might deem that a favorable spot. I think he got it.
Yeah.
Squib kick. Oh, baby. Nick Griffin, running back, with Jim and Phil. And it all begins with the NFL Today.
It's the first time I sidelined for her got first billing. Right?
Well, I'm going to hear from Nance. You know that. First down and 10. Boy, he's got all day, doesn't he? And he goes deep, one-on-one coverage. Has to wait. Now, Derunya Wilson, number 1. Now, we've got a moment. Let's go back to the studio for this Heisman walk. Back to you. All right. Thank you, Adam. Second down and 10 here. Little draw play. Robinson wrapped up. Cannot get outside. Jabari Johnson, number 47. Linebacker. Nice play.
He sure did. Outside linebacker. His first start was last week against LSU. Took on the pulling guard, Justin Malone, perfectly. Kept his outside leverage. So important playing defense. You hear it every week from these defensive coordinators. We must set the edge. And that's exactly textbook of what it means, setting the edge.
The first third and long. Facing Mississippi State now. They need 13 for the first down.
Let's see if Bud Dupree, number 2, can make an impact early in this game.
The block gets him. Oh, deep cleater. Blake McCain, number 24, hit Joe Morrow and hit him hard.
This was well defense this time. 4-man rush, zone defense. If you don't throw this ball quickly, they make adjustments quickly. That's a legal hit. Boy, that receiver was hung out that time. Joe Morrow goes, wow, it wasn't like that all year.
Don't do that to me again. Devin Bell, first punt in 3 games, had that groin pull. DeMarco Robinson bobbles it over the head, and that may have gone out of bounds.
Yeah, it did. Never got a possession. And as Vern told you before, a nightmare start on special teams and a nightmare finish on special teams for Kentucky last week against LSU. Bobbled and never possessed again goes to Kentucky.
Tolando Cleveland was the guy chasing it. That's a 53-yard punt, nothing on the return. And one more look at the physicality of this game. And we have a report that he had the wind knocked out of him. 5:09 remaining opening quarter, tied at 7. State scored on the first drive, and then the most recent drive, big third down play.
Yes, here this was good coverage downfield, and then Tolles shows just enough athletic ability. Asked him yesterday, Vern, who in the NFL does he watch and say, I can be like that, as you're looking at the touchdown of his pass after that scramble? And he said, Aaron Rodgers. And I had written down on a piece of paper and turned it over.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger. Because that's what remind me of when Ben was a little thin. College days.
I think you were shocked when he said Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he's got that type of arm strength.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Aaron's in a whole different flight.
Tolles. Incomplete, intended for Joey Herrick. Let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Vern. Mississippi State's bench is so relaxed and calm. They're having fun out there. And after Derunya wasn't able to make that deep ball catch, Coach Mullen went up to Fred Brown and looked at Derunya and said, Fred would have caught that, wouldn't you, Fred? Fred looked at him and said, yes, I would have. He said, hey, make sure you catch that ball next time. But they're very loose. They're relaxed. They seem pretty confident.
All right, Allie, thank you. It's second down and 10. See what the Bulldogs have in mind. They show a blitz look, and they are coming, and Braylon Hurd, the ball's on the ground.
Yeah, it's going
and
the other way.
Mississippi State has it. Bernardrick McKinney, number 50, recovered it.
One of the positives that I was going to mention about that LSU pasting last week about Kentucky was they didn't turn the ball over. Well, you know, in this game already now, that's what happens. You know, you're playing good football, and all of a sudden you give Dak Prescott the ball inside the 20-yard line.
There's the ball out.
Was it Brown that caused it?
Beniquez Brown. Yes, it was.
That's quite a combination, those two guys, Brown and McKinney. No safety in the middle of the field.
Give the ball to Josh Robinson. Another look at the fumble.
Can't quite tell you, but I know Matt Wells was in on the tackle, and Brown as well. Well, I'll tell you, defensive coordinator DJ Elliott and Bob Stoops have lined it up and challenged this offense. They're playing man and they're coming.
Here's Prescott. Oh, nice block on the edge. With the stiff arm, Prescott. Josh Robinson got down low and knocked the defender out of the way. First and goal.
As Vern told you, one key block from Robinson, and now you got the big guy to the outside, and he brings the whole package. If you're going to run the spread in this league, you got to run your quarterback, and he and Bo Wallace are doing that at Ole Miss.
3 to the left. The option, whoa. Nice pursuit defensively led by Alvin Bud Dupre. And the Verizon Red Zone stats. In the red zone, Prescott 58%, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. For the year, he's got 14 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Second down and goal.
Well, Derunya Wilson, number 1, is their big receiver. He's lined up to the left, out wide.
Prescott. Modest gain. Josh Forrest, number 45, the middle linebacker.
Was out at practice Thursday, Vern, and Josh Forrest was not out there. He has a bit of a stomach bug. They took him away from the team. As you said before, his 4th different position, but he led this team last week against LSU with 10 tackles.
Third and goal. Prescott again, a lot of time, now goes right. Pumps, pulls up, throws it deep, it's incomplete. Robert Johnson, number 12, was prowling around the end line.
Great stop by that Kentucky defense on that play on 3rd down. Robert Johnson was actually open the whole way across the field. And for some reason, Dak never looked his way. He kept looking at Derunya Wilson the whole time.
There is a flag.
Ineligible player downfield of the offense, number 63. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Well, here we are playing the 8th game of the year, and this is going to be Evan Sobiesk, the field goal kicker. This will be only the 5th attempt of the year for Sobiesk. He's 3 of 4, his longest, 27-28.
Remember who's holding.
Prescott. That's a good reminder.
Yep.
Very good heads up. This is from 26. And Mississippi State breaks the tie. Sobiesk, 4 field goals made this year.
Yeah, it's a big series for the Kentucky defense.
(10-7). 2:41 to go, opening quarter. An open week for the number 1 ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs. A thrashing for Kentucky at Ole Miss last Saturday night. But in your study of the film, you said they didn't play all, they just had breakdowns.
I was shocked. I expected to turn on a disaster. The special teams were a disaster. I'll have to say that right from the opening kickoff. But they hung in tough. It was 17-3 with a minute to go, and Kentucky had the ball in the first half.
And they failed on a 4th and 2 out of the Wildcat formation, and that was kind of the key to the loss. Here's Tolles. Let's check in with Allie.
Thanks, Vern. Yeah, as incentive for Mississippi State's defense to turn the ball over, defensive coordinator Jeff Collins writes on the dry erase board, get the ball. And then when a player is involved in forcing a turnover, they get their number written on the board. So far, it's Wells and McKinney, and the challenge is up for any other defenders who are willing to try.
Allie, the last time we saw that board, those numbers were getting erased by a monsoon.
Right.
That was 2 weeks ago, the game against Auburn. The third win in a row against a top 10 team. That's only the 5th time any team has accomplished that. First time in 31 years. First and 10. Got it. Blake Bone, a true freshman. Tevez Calhoun with the tackle.
Blitz Matt Wells on the play. Their hybrid, strong safety linebacker player, and Kentucky handles it beautifully.
Michael Horton is in the ball game now.
He's out again.
Again? Kentucky recovered. Horton is out. Here's the end of the play. Preston Smith made a grab at it. And now we've got multiple substitutions offensively for Kentucky. On 3rd and 1. JoJo Kemp, Wildcat. Got it. They've run that effectively most of the year, that Wildcat formation.
Right.
Not so much last week.
Well, it was the game winner for them against South Carolina.
Right.
And in this short yardage play, almost from behind, Mississippi State stops it, but not enough.
Tolles.
Oh, receiver fell down.
As he was making the cut, that's Blake Bone.
Yeah, Blake Bone, if he keeps his feet there, that's a completion. Perfect read. Watch Bone come inside, go outside, and stumble.
2nd down 10. JoJo Kemp in as a running back now. Gets the handoff, does number 3. Goes right, and there's Caleb Ewells, number 92. One of that solid group of defensive linemen.
Beniquez Brown, number 42, calls out a lot of plays, a lot of film study. He's the quarterback. Watch him when he reads it. He'll turn around and call out the play, and he's really good at it.
3rd and 8. Blitz, play action, Tolles, scrambles. There was a tug at the jersey from Caleb Ewells, and that was enough with help to bring him down.
One thing about this Mississippi State defense, Vern, they give up a lot of yards. I mean, they're last in the league in passing yards, as you see the sack by Ewells there. But they produce negative plays. Think about this. They're 9th in the country in sacks, 10th in the country's tackle for loss, 6th in interceptions, 2nd in red zone defense. They make plays. They give up yards, but they make plays.
4th and 17 as we reach the end of the first with our score 10-7. Top-ranked team in the land, up by 3 on the road. We'll return to Lexington after this message and a word from your local station. Stadium on the campus of the University of Kentucky in Lexington. We begin the second quarter. 10-7 ball game and a punting situation now. Landon Foster will punt it deep to Jamoral Graham, who waits at the 45. Here's the punt.
They must have a read. It's the second time they've come after the punt.
That one takes a Kentucky roll. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson with Allie LaForce down on the sidelines. We were hoping for a competitive game. We've got one. Yeah. And Kentucky shows some stuff, don't they? I
agree. I told you, they've got some athletes. I mean, Mark Stoops knows what he's recruiting. He's put together some classes here. I think they may be one more class to reach the elite level. But believe me, they got guys that you have to account for. And when you got a quarterback like Tolles, they're going to be in this football game.
Well, Stoops in his second year, they were 2-10 a year ago. 2-10 the year before that. Joker Phillips last year. And now Mississippi State, leading by 3, has a first down.
Defensive line.
Brandon Holloway, freshman running back, number 10 on, and the tackle made by Reggie Ment, 96.
Well, meant to, and he did.
Couldn't resist it.
No, Darius Smith was unblocked on that one too, number 94. That seemed like a busted play to me.
2nd and 8. Play action, fake to Holloway. Prescott, that one cracked as it got there, but it got there. Fred Ross. Boy, that ball was wobbling.
Yeah, you know, a year ago against Kentucky, Dak Prescott, and he wasn't the passer he is this year, went 25 for 37 for 295 yards. I wonder if they're going to go back to that bubble screen game that they started the game with. Remember, they threw 3 short passes, all of them for at least 12 yards. They're giving Mississippi's that play.
Nick Griffin is the running back. He gets the handoff, goes right. Huge hole, tries to stutter step. He stopped, but he does get the first down. Nate Willis, number 21, with the tackle.
The challenge for any defense, forget Kentucky, forget how many good players, young players, whatever. Any defense with a balanced attack, and that's what Mississippi State has, a balanced attack. I'll tell you, it's a handful.
They average running the ball 264 yards, passing it 265.
Yeah, that's balanced.
That's pretty close. Yep. There's a little flip out to the left. Fred Ross back to the studio for this forward update. Here's Adam. 7 here, 10-7 Mississippi State. Prescott pressured. Did he get the foot down? He did indeed. Robert Johnson, wow.
Defended well that time by Cody Quinn, but hang on the ball. You know, when I spoke with, and he got his left foot down, when I spoke with Dan Mullen yesterday, I asked him, has anybody on the team exceeded expectations? Could you name a guy? And he goes, you know what? Our depth has exceeded my expectations. More guys can make plays than I thought. I can just call a play. I don't have to worry about who's in the game.
Here's another running back making his first appearance. Ashton, watch out for the reverse.
Quarterback, remember.
And it's Miles. He wanted to throw. He runs instead, and he gets to the 21.
Well, a year ago, that might have been Jamion Lewis doing that, because he was also had quarterback skills coming to Mississippi State. But from the secondary that time, from the linebacker spot, just enough pressure from Henderson, and Miles had to get away from it.
2nd down and 3. Play clock at 5. Got it. Derunya Wilson. Cody Quinn defensively.
Well, the pre-read this time was a big bubble to the inside. He knew he had this slant when he lined up, and you got a big 6'5" receiver coming in there. You throw that ball confidently.
Ashton Shumpert is a running back. He gets the handoff, number 32. And Derunya Wilson, they call him Bear. Quite a basketball player in high school. He was at Winona High in Birmingham. named Mr. Basketball in Alabama in 2013 and helped lead his team to 3 straight state championships. He played basketball for Mississippi State last year and appeared in 7 games. And then he thought, you know, a 6'5" forward
right.
as opposed to a 6'5" wide receiver.
might have to play in Denmark.
Estonia. Here's the toss. Schumpert.
You got to hand it to Dan Mullen. That option play last time down the field did not work. He comes back with it. Josh Forrest, who runs sideline to sideline as well as any linebacker in the league, gets the play, but a big positive play.
And a 3rd down and 1. They can, as you can see with the yellow line, indicating the yardage needed for a 1st down, they could get a 1st and goal out of this. Prescott or a touchdown.
That's since I got in this league, that has been the story from the spread big quarterbacks. Vern, you've been in every meeting.
Right.
Every defensive coordinator said, I don't know how we stop it. When Tebow was doing, or Cam Newton was doing it, that 3rd and 1 is almost unstoppable.
Well, Prescott wearing number 15 because he so admired Tim Tebow. Here's the extra point. Up and good. And he, in part, chose Mississippi State because Dan Mullen had been the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator who coached Tim Tebow. And then just to complete the circle, Tim Tebow is here today. Touchdown, Prescott, extending the Bulldog lead. Prescott got the touchdown on 3rd and 1. Logan Cook again to handle the kickoff chores. And DeMarco Robinson, J.D. Harmon are the deep men. 17-7. DeMarco Robinson coming right. Slipped 1 tackle and another, and then hit by the 3rd guy. Now it's time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success, Gary.
Well, Vern, when you run the option, there's 2 rules or tools you have to do. You have to count for the end man on the line of scrimmage, and then you have to force him to tackle you. And that's exactly what Dak does right here. Pitches the ball, forces him, so he does his job twice. He makes sure he knows who to option, and then he makes sure the option guy tackles him. That's the only way the option will work.
Prescott, a so-called 3-star recruit, committed early to Mississippi State, got a late rush from LSU, and called Dan Mullen, said, I'm coming to start there. Ryan Timmons, number 1. Listed as a starter for much of the year, did not start today's game, but he picks up 15 yards on that catch.
Well, Ryan Timmons had the biggest play a year ago against Mississippi State, a 51-yard play. If it wasn't for Ryan Timmons last year, the longest play of the game would have been, pass play of the game would have been 11 yards. Already 2 of them in this game for Kentucky, more than that.
That was a gain of 15, 1st down. Coles completes it to Joey Herrick, number 87.
Here's the problem. Kentucky would like to go up-tempo. Okay, when they're running good, they go up-tempo. But Mark Stoops is looking over at his offensive coordinator and going, be very careful, Neil Brown, because our defense is not holding up. We do not want to give that ball back too quickly to Mississippi State.
You see on this 2nd down play, 3 wide left, blitz look from Mississippi State. They're sending 3 and dropping 3. Patrick Tolles picks it up.
This is one of those combo plays in college football now. The offensive line is blocking a run play. The quarterback has the option of throwing a pass play. Neither was there, so he just kept it and made a positive play out of it.
Patrick Tolles has some athletic genes in his heritage.
There's a little bit of the kitty cat.
Yeah. JoJo Kemp. Now here's Tolles in motion. And he will take the snap. Play action. Got it. Ronnie Shields, number 80. Well, mentioned that Tolles had some athletic background. They're going to hustle up now. His grandfather is here today. Also wore number 14 as he made his way to the Hall of Fame. There's Jim Bunning, 83rd birthday yesterday. His wife married to the left. Their daughter is Patrick Tolles' mom. Now Tolles again splits out. It's Kemp and the Wildcat. Something brewing here.
Yeah, but nice little blend here. On the first play, they went the fake Wildcat. Tolles comes back, runs a play action pass. Now they come back with it and get the stretch play out of it. And Kemp, very comfortable in that Wildcat formation, does it again. Now it looks like they could go anywhere, but it also looks like they're going to call a timeout. Someone is. They're going to have, looks like there's going to be a measurement, yes. I wonder if Mississippi State took a timeout because the water guys came out
I
there.
saw that too.
Yeah, I mean, usually the water doesn't come out on a measurement.
Unless it's Adam Sandler. That's a little oblique.
That's
yeah,
inside.
It really is. One of his movie roles was The Water Boy. Just by way of getting myself out of that. First down 10.
Well-designed drive so far by Kentucky, doing a little bit of everything as you look at Jeff Collins right there. I believe that's him. I just got a quick glimpse of him.
Yep. If not, it is now.
Defensive coordinator for Mississippi State trying to dial into what's coming next.
Braylon Hurd, the running back. Wide receivers left and right. Comes a little pressure. Deep pass, one-on-one. Is it caught? Nope. It is not. DeMarco Robinson defending Jamerson Love, number 5.
Yeah, very patient by Jamerson Love. And that's what we talked about, Vern. A senior has been through a lot of football. One of those veterans that Dan Mullen has built this program on. We've been in the SEC, seen it all, covered everybody, didn't have any penalty, didn't grab anybody, just stayed patient and made the play.
Second down 10. Ball at the 29-yard line. Design run. Tolles. Monique was Brown. Patrick was telling us his grandfather, Jim Bunning, who was also a senator in the state, by the way, went to Xavier in Cincinnati on a basketball scholarship, wore number 14 there, and then turned to that Hall of Fame baseball career. 3rd and 7. He'll step up. He will run. He's got a first down plus a couple of yards.
That's why, and it's I tell you, I saw Ben Roethlisberger play in college at Miami of Ohio. It's exactly how he used to play. He was quicker then. He was big, obviously as big as he is now. Made plays with his legs, and he had the big arm. Boy, almost a spitting image of him.
First down 10 after the Tolles run. Left side. Caught, dropped.
Yep.
Didn't have control. Blake Bone, the freshman.
Orlando Cleveland, remember, he got beat on the touchdown, but this time he got his hand on the football late. Good, strong throw. Could have been maybe an inch wider to the outside, but as the ball was attempted to be bringing in, you get the corner in there to give him just enough of a shove to drop it.
This is the 10th play of this drive. Four-man rush behind the intended receiver, Blake Bone. 3rd and 10.
I thought this one was rushed a little bit by Patrick Tolles. He had plenty of protection up front. He threw it before his receiver was open. He picked out a spot. It was almost as if he knew he was going to go there before the snap and kind of hurried it a bit.
Mark Stoops came here 2 years ago, first head coaching job.
Let's see if they're going to rush and blitz him this time. No, going to play coverage.
Yes. Doles into the end zone too far. One-on-one coverage intended for Javis Blue. Deontay Evans was defending. Number 17.
Evans did the exact same thing that Jamerson Love did. Did not panic, hung in there, and then turned his head at the last second.
And that will bring on Austin McGinnis. He is 11 of 16 for the year, and he's got 2 in excess of 50. That 53-yarder and 1 of 51. This from 34. Perfect. And they get 3 out of this to cut the margin to 7. CBS Sports coverage. Home Depot SEC continues after this word. First week, top-ranked LSU came in October 13th. Andre Woodson, Jacob Tamme, who's now with the Denver Broncos. Lindley with this interception. This was the number 1 LSU team. Stevie Johnson with a touchdown reception. Went to 3 overtimes, and that stop saved the game. Patrick Tolles told us he was in the stands, and he rushed the field. I think I just saw it.
He was in 8th grade, means he was 13 years old. But, you know, I kind of looked it up. I wanted to remember, but I didn't. But I remember Jeremy Jarman, Corey Peters, Myron Pryor. I mean, these guys at that time, when he talked about just a little more veterans than this team. But you can see it's starting to get there for this Kentucky team, putting together the same type of team with a quarterback and athletes.
Austin McGinnis will kick off. The unfortunate part of that whole story was the next week we came back here, and this guy named Tebow led Florida to a victory over the Wildcats. Tim Tebow and members of his family in attendance today. Here's Holloway. Well, that number 1 team was LSU. Here's the Aflac question as we cue the duck. That was LSU in 07. Which were the other 2 number 1 teams that they have defeated? Unless you're a Kentucky fan, I think this one's a tough one. 1st and 10. Here's Robinson. Yep.
Well, if you're betting, I mean, they always play Tennessee.
I don't know anybody who does.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they always play Tennessee and they always play Alabama. Wouldn't that make sense? Those teams would be number 1. That's who I'm going to go with. And I don't know the answer.
Okay. You didn't cheat during the rehearsal?
I don't even watch during rehearsal. You know that.
I've noticed that. You left yourself open for that. That carry from Josh Robinson. Let's go back to Adams.
In the 4th, Vern to Mary Hardin Baylor.
How much?
66-13.
I can't speak.
66-13.
Well, we were underdogs, right?
Yep.
It was number 2 against number 17. Ouch.
Well, another ouch was that last throw by Dak Prescott right there. That was a wide open play, and he threw it right at the feet of the wide receiver that time to now put himself behind the chain, 2nd and 10.
Prescott. Oh, he breaks a couple of tackles. He's got some help from behind, and Prescott with a huge run.
When we talked to Mark Stoops, he said, you know, we'll give him yards, but let's not give Dak a Heisman run like one of these. We don't want a Heisman highlight run. That's really going going to be demoralizing to our football team. And after he makes a bad throw, he comes back with one of those Heisman run type plays.
That's a gain of 38. Here's Prescott again. Deep left side.
Great defense.
Incomplete. Fred Brown, yes it was. Blake McCain was also there.
Yep, Blake McCain with number 24 did a great job. Again, as like I love to say, is you're playing pass defense. Just because a guy beats you by half a yard, you don't have to penalize yourself and do a silly play. He stayed with it, he looked back, and he made an athletic play.
2nd down and 10.
Boy, he's got bump and run on the big guy out here. A great matchup.
4 on the shot.
They're going to have to take a timeout. They're going to have to take a timeout.
Called on the sideline.
Yeah, not a big problem. First half timeouts are not like second half timeouts, and you're in the scoring zone. It's 2nd and 10. It's a good call.
4:49 to go in the first half. Dan Mullen. Patrick Tolles. And a younger guy. 2nd down and 10, 17-10. And Prescott, 9 of 14 throws.
Appears to be the same look, Vern. Bump and run to the outside. There it is.
He's looking right all the way, and it's incomplete.
J.D. Harmon did a good job. Wilson got inside of him, and J.D. Harmon makes the play. Watch this technique. Stay inside. Wilson gets inside, and he stays with it. Oh, that's a drop pass.
Yep.
I thought he got his hand on him. Tried to catch it in his body. That's one the big basketball player has to dunk.
3rd and 10. Kentucky brings everybody. Almost bobbled it. Here's Prescott. It'll be 4th down.
Mark Stoops' defense gave Dan Mullen a look of 8 dropping. They checked into a quarterback keeper. Kentucky checks into an all-out blitz. They had the right defense on. Nobody could block C.J. Johnson, and they get a huge stop. A drop touchdown pass and a great defensive stand for Kentucky.
Well, they're going to bring the freshman Logan Cook on. Sobiesk, as we said, 4, but none longer than 27, and that's whoa.
Wow.
Let's rethink that one.
Sobiesk's last kick was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, he had plenty of yards. I think that's overthought right there, in my opinion. I mean, I could see from the 50, but that just seems that the last one cleared by 15 yards.
Yep. And that quacks. That is a duck hook. Missed opportunity with 4 minutes to go. De'Runnya Wilson with a drop. 4 minutes to go, first half. And let's cue the duck and answer the question. Aflac trivia question of the week.
Common sense, common sense.
Okay, 2 other. Oh my goodness, Oklahoma, 1950.
I didn't know bowl games counted.
Ole Miss in Jackson, 27-21. First down 10. 5 wides. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. And Tolles will keep it and not get anything. Now let's go back, Gary, to that previous defensive effort.
Right. Benardrick McKinney right here. This is why he's an All-American. And watch him make maybe a touchdown-saving play. He gets blocked initially by Myers, then falls over some trash and lays out and makes the play. See, that's one of those little things we missed it the first time. Somebody up here spotted it. We go back. Truck does a nice job of finding the play, but those are those little plays that can make the difference.
There's a drop for Kentucky.
Beniquez Brown again. Remember how fast he recognizes plays. He was out on that in a split second. These two linebackers, I'll tell you, watch him realize it. He's an inside player. As he shifts from one side guy to the outside receiver. Listen, you can be a well-coached player, but you have to have that instinct. And Brown has that instinct on how to play defense.
3rd and 10. Tolles has missed his last 5 passes. 4 wides this time. Stunts defensively. Tolles up. Nothing. 4th down.
I think it was Preston Smith that maybe got his feet that time.
Yep.
Listen to this, Vern. Preston Smith for the season has 19 tackles, 6 tackles for a loss, 4.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and a partridge in a pear tree.
All of which
he's an All-American.
Yeah, I think so. And here is the Landon Foster effort forthcoming. Jamoral Graham, number 81.
Went for the block the first 2 punts.
Yep.
Not this time.
Graham comes up, grabs it at the 36, gets a little bit of a block. Stiff arm. And after all of that, he's brought down at the 38-yard line. Now let's take a look at what has transpired with Dak Prescott on the ground.
Yeah, his passing stats have been so-so, but he's been leading the rushing attack on broke-down plays, on the option as you saw first of all, and on broken plays where he makes people miss and becomes a physical football player. He doesn't have those unbelievable stats, but he still is the must-stop guy, obviously, in this spread offense built around him.
See the rushing average, 6.1. Hello. Zadarius Smith, number 94. Huge loss.
Well, Zadarius needs to go back and thank his secondary because those back 7 players, I think they rushed 4. Let's watch here. Yes, they rushed 4 players. Great coverage to the outside. That is a Bob Stoops defense. He's always been a defensive backs coach, and if you make the quarterback pull it down one time, you get the sack.
That's a loss of 9, 2nd and 19. That catch is made. De'Runnya Wilson.
Wow.
That's going to be close.
Yeah, he dropped 1, but you can see his size. Goes out there. It's 2nd, 20 yards or something like that. A perfect throw, high into the face mask, and then 2 missed tackles. And now it's going to be 3rd and 1.5 yards or a yard for a first down.
Left side. And the second effort, Josh Robinson got the first down.
Remember, we talked about at the 1-minute mark where we are now, the LSU game. Mississippi State was down 17-3. And look, Mark Stoops told us, I just wanted to get to halftime. 17-3, I thought we were in the game. All of a sudden, a touchdown, and then a pooch kickoff, 10 points late, and it turned into a rout. It's a very dangerous time right now for Kentucky, because remember, Mississippi State gets the ball to start the second half.
Yep. And that was Kentucky at LSU last week. Here's the measurement.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit good. A little bit good. I was going to say short.
That was a nice mid-course correction. Yeah.
10 years, 20 years in the business. You got to.
Oh, goodness. Less than a minute to go.
Play coverage. You can rush 4. You know you can get to the quarterback.
Prescott back. Right side. Battle for it. Intercepted. Picked off easily. That one way up in the air. It's Josh Forrest, number 45, with his 2nd interception of the season.
And it was Zadarius Smith that caused it. Number 94 gets the hit. The ball actually was Dupree, wasn't it?
Yes.
Smith and Dupree kind of squish him, and the ball goes up, and the former wide receiver makes the catch. Two guys just flatten Prescott on that one.
Now, DJ Elliott, excuse me.
No, that's okay. Only two guys. They only rushed four.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing fancy right there.
I'm just thinking of DJ Elliott, the defensive coordinator, telling us yesterday, our two defensive ends are our two best defenders. And they collaborated on that play. Here's Tolles. Braylon Hurd, number 5. Kentucky has all 3 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, Mark Stoops is going to go over to Neil Brown and his quarterback and go, all right, I'm going to let you have some rope here, but drop it off or get the ball intercepted way down there. Okay? Not in our end.
Now, Prescott pressured by 2 men. And it went airborne and was intercepted.
And let's just give credit to the scheme here. A blitz from the outside by McLean and a delayed blitz by number 2, Bud Dupree. And it works beautifully against this delayed blitz. And by the time the quarterback can get rid of it, the speed of Dupree makes the interception. Well designed. That's modern football defense right there.
Second down, 2. 7-point margin with 29 seconds to go before the break. 3-man rush.
Yep, dump it off.
Braylon Hurd. 23 seconds to go.
He wants to get the ball. You know, maybe if he gets to the 50-yard line, then we'll let you throw. We don't want a turnover, obviously, on our side of the field right now. It's a football game. Remember, Mississippi State in these last 3 wins had leads of 21 points in each game.
And those last 3 over LSU, A&M, and Auburn. Tolles. Oh, be careful. He almost
could have dropped the ball.
Lost it.
That's a big guy, a big, strong guy that could take that sack, and I would assume we're going to go to halftime here.
3rd sack of the first half. Timeout called. Kentucky has 1 left. Half, second down and 18. And look how close this came to be a fumble.
Yeah, Chris Jones, number 96, put his hand right on the quarterback's wrist right there, or forearm. That almost came out. If he wasn't a strong, big, tough guy, that ball would be out.
Well, Austin McGinnis's long of the season is 53. They've got an enormous way to go to get anywhere
about
close.
30 yards if they even want to do that.
3-man rush again. Tolles coming right. Out of bounds with 9 seconds to go.
Well, I think earlier in the game, Dak Prescott threw the ball about 60, 65 yards in the air. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't go for a long one right here. You need about, to get a 50-yard or 53, not about, need about 15 more yards for a 53-yard field goal. So you can go deep or you can go for the field goal throw.
There's it caught. 3 seconds to go. Ryan Timmons.
They're going to go right for about a 50-yard field goal now. They went with the Big Ben formation, where they put 3 receivers deep like they were going to throw the ball deep, and they took the inside receiver and dragged him out so they get a chance for a 50-yarder. They gained 32 yards in 2 plays to set up the field goal.
Well, 2 over 50 this year for McGinnis.
Uh-oh, Vern. There's a guy back under the goalpost. Could he do anything?
I've never seen that.
Plenty of leg, though.
Almost worked. Who is Chris Davis anyway? Another look at the mess. The miss. Yeah, it was. Well, they came close, didn't they? McGinnis just to the right side. But we have something going here. 17-10 at the half. Let's go down to Allie the Force with Dan Mullen.
Coach, you started this game out with an 82-yard drive for a touchdown, but you ended with an interception. What can the offense do better?
Well, we got to execute better. You know, I mean, we're missing protections. We're dropping passes down here, which not making plays we have to make. You know, you watch their guys are making plays and breaking tackles and scoring 80-yard touchdowns. We're not making those plays. We got to make those plays if we want to win.
Kentucky was able to march 30-plus yards in just 2 plays to get that last field goal. Any changes defensively you'd make?
No, right there. We practice that play every single week, and we had a guy just miss it out in the pass breakup right there. But the same thing. We missed the tackles on the sideline for their 1 touchdown on a long touchdown pass. We're playing a little sloppy. We got to clean it up, and we got to play a lot better as a team in the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Allie, thank you.
I thought it was a little closer game than Coach thought, really, to tell you the truth. I thought Kentucky hung in there and showed that they could sack the quarterback and make some defensive plays.
That's the end of the half. It's 17-10 here. Now let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio. The lovely city of Lexington, Kentucky, the top-ranked team in the land, leads it, but only by 7 as we get set for the start of the third quarter. Now let's go inside the headset, powered by AT&T, official sponsor of the SEC, and here's Allie LaForce.
Your defense held Mississippi State to its fewest points in the first half this season. How have you been able to disrupt their offense?
Well, it's been tough. We were fortunate. They missed the field goal, and we got the interception there. But the guys are playing hard. I mean, that's a very good football team. Dak's an impressive player, so we just got to keep on fighting. Your staff said you needed the wide receivers to make big plays, but drops sort of defined the offense in the first half. What was your message to the wide receivers? Well, we're going to have our opportunities. We just got to keep on fighting and make some plays. I think they did some good things, and we're going to have more opportunities here in the second half. Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
Allie, thank you. Mark Stoops, his team trailing, but only by 7. Mississippi State will get the ball to open quarter number 3. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, along with Allie LaForce. 17-10. Austin McGinnis will kick off for the Wildcats. Deep men are Brandon Holloway and Robert Johnson. And that's going to be a touchback. How significant this opening drive for Mississippi State?
I think it's going to be a fourth quarter game.
Do you?
know, when we were here before, I think it was 17-14 LSU. It's 17-10, okay?
Right.
It's a football game. You want to go in the locker room if you're Mark Stoops and look at your guys and say, we can play with these guys. We can beat these guys. It's a SEC. We've got guys, too. I think we're in for a good football game.
Well, 17-10 as we get set for the start of the third. After the touchback, it'll be Mississippi State from the 25. Prescott with modest first half numbers. Deep right side, and he overthrows Robert Johnson, number 12. Mentioned modest, 10 of 18 throwing the ball, 111 yards. 9 carries for 43, but that includes 1 run of 38 yards.
It's a great point. And that was a broken play, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
2nd and 10. Day to throw it. I don't know if it was tipped or dropped. Fred Tiller, number 3, was defending. Derunya Wilson. Let's see.
It's a handful with Wilson. Very physical, but Fred Tiller does a great job. I watched the Florida game last night, and Tiller had that unfortunate dropped interception that went right to Florida. But, hanging in very well in this football game.
3rd and 10. Robinson, right side of Prescott. 3 receivers to the right. Wilson, bottom of the screen. Prescott steps up, fires it, caught. It's Fred Ross, number 8, and that is good enough for a first down. Gain of 13.
Well, that's the point that Dan Mullen talked to us about, is we just don't have one go-to guy. We've got a lot of players making plays for us, and he really pointed out that he doesn't care who's in the game. He just calls plays.
Here's Robinson.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
That was it. He's called the nickname the bowling ball, and that was it right there. Watch how low he keeps running on this one, right on the end.
That was Melvin Lewis who got over the top and finally forced him down. The bowling ball, 5'9", 215. Gets it again and fights his way again. First down, Mississippi State.
Josh Robinson has been his best against the best. Against ranked teams, he's averaging 147 yards a game. And he had that huge game against his home state school, LSU, and he went from 197.
Back-to-back first downs. The ball at the 40. Let's keep Robinson running. Hack attack trying to force the ball out, but that's...
Well, Allie talked to Dan as he was leaving the field, and he talked to Mark Stoops coming on the field. If she would have talked to Dan coming on the field, he might have said, we're going to run the ball. I mean, LSU ran for 300 yards. I'm going to challenge my team to see if we can run the ball against these guys.
First down 10 again. Ball at the 28. Well, why not? Except this time it's Nick Griffin, number 7. And Gary, take us through the trends. This is early in the third quarter.
Well, he had the one big pass in this second half right there, but nothing Heisman-like there. Patrick Tolles is hung in there, but he's the only guy rushing for Kentucky. He has 11 rushes. 2 or 3 of those were sacks. And you see Josh Robinson, Kentucky does not have a running back. Their running backs for Kentucky, total carries don't add up to the quarterback.
Nick Griffin is the running back. Play action to him. Prescott pressured. Incomplete. Derunya Wilson got a hand on it.
Well, Vern called it for you. The pressure forced the throw just a bit high.
3rd and 6. Early moments, third quarter.
With the struggling field goal kicker, you wonder if they'll go 4-down call here.
Let's go.
It could be offsides. First penalty of the game.
Pass is incomplete. There is a flag. Let's see if that was a penetration by Ashley Lowry.
I think it was.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
But it becomes 3rd and 1.
Delayed. And Dylan Day that time, the senior center, held his water long enough. He saw the guy stepped across, and then he snapped it.
First penalty of the ball game. There was one in the first half, declined by Kentucky. 3rd and 1. 17-10. This is the opening drive of the second half. Robinson. Another first down. Mark Stoops. Brothers Bob and Mike at Oklahoma. Older brother, defensive coordinator at Youngstown State. Their dad, Ron Stoops, legendary high school coach at Cardinal Mooney in Youngstown. They reverse it. Here comes Miles. Looks for blocking help and gets gets down near the 11-yard line before he's forced out of bounds. Khalid Henderson, number 22, caught up with him.
Well defended, positive yards, but Dak Prescott did his job. Pitches it off, and watch him finish it off with a block at the end. I don't know if it's in the picture. Yes, he does. He actually decleats.
Oh.
Jabari Johnson that time, number 47. Not bad. Your quarterback is as big as a defensive end.
11th play of the drive. Second down and 5. Prescott. Prescott. Ben Beckwith, number 66, cleared the way.
That deserved an oh my right there. Because that was just athletic ability. Just watch it. He spins when he gets hit and avoids the hit. Look at that. Ashley Lowry, who jumped off sides, had the shot, but he couldn't bring him down.
Evan Sobieski for the extra point. It's up, and it is good. Take another look at the Prescott touchdown run. Nice spin move, avoiding the tackle.
I thought he got hit right on the knee right there, and I thought he was limping afterwards, too.
He's now got 124 yards passing, 54 rushing. (24-10). Mississippi State gets the touchdown. Opening drive, third quarter.
The hit was right on either the thigh or the knee, his left leg, but then watch as he spins out. His left leg also takes a big divot when it lands. Hit right there, then watch it take a big divot in the grass right there as he spins out of it. Thought he looked like he was favoring it, but you know, he got to the sideline. He's a pretty big, tough guy. Didn't look like it was bothering too much, to tell you the truth.
11 plays, 75 yards to open the third quarter. Prescott lost his mom, Peggy, to cancer a year ago, almost a year ago now, November, has two older brothers. Mentioned that he committed early to Mississippi State, in part because Dan Mullen had coached Tim Tebow. And then he got a rush late in the season. LSU came after him, and he called Mullen and said, I'm staying at Mississippi State. DeMarco Robinson has it at the 1. Stumbles and falls. And let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Vern, Kentucky's defensive line coach Jimmy Brumbaugh said literally that Mississippi State's offensive line in all of his years of playing is the sorriest offensive line that he has ever seen. He was riding his defensive line the entire first half to do a better job, and that's continuing into the second half. The defensive line heard the message, they rallied around each other, and they said, guys, we got this.
That's interesting. Very. First down and 10. 24-10. Got some help. Out of bounds, but a huge run. Kendrick Market. That is a gain of 48 yards.
Well, he's the whole running offense. Remember, they started the first half, second play they ran him. This is a design run, gets into the secondary, and he, again, more athletic than you think for a big, tall guy. 48 yards against this defense. That is tough to take for a #1 team in the country.
First down 10 after that 48-yard run. The snap is a little low. Toles grabs it, comes right side. Ryan Timmons.
Well, we said he needed some running help. I question whether it could be just the quarterback doing the running, but so far, that's been enough. And it keeps the Mississippi State defense off balance.
And another first down after the 12-yard gain. Quick count. Dorian Baker, who had to sit out, by the way, the first half, self-suspended by Kentucky. He
had a hit in the LSU game,
right? On a punt return. And it was not called targeting by the officials. But Mark Stoops telling us it was deemed by the staff here. Here's Tolles again to be targeting, so they sent him out. Let's take a look at this Dorian Baker hit. A memorable play last Saturday night in Baton Rouge. Right there.
Yeah, and it is targeting, but it was not called. And Coach Stoops was encouraged to sit out the player for the first half of this game.
That's a very nice way of putting it.
You got it. Mississippi State, second in the country in red zone defense.
Got it! Ryan Timmons, first and goal.
It's really been the story of Mississippi State all year. They're last in the SEC in total defense, but they're second in the country in stopping teams from scoring in the red zone. Can they do it again? What an answer by this Kentucky offense, huh?
Isn't it? Yes. Tolles. Braylon Hurd, not much on that play. Bernardrick McKinney made first contact, number 50.
Yeah, both Niquest Brown and McKinney were both there.
And the red zone stats presented by Verizon. Only 6 touchdowns in 20 trips prior to this one.
At practice Thursday and Friday, they spent at least half the day practicing red zone offense.
Blake Bone is split wide, top of the screen, left side. Dorian Baker, right side, number 2. Tolles forced out to the right, caught and dropped.
It's been the story of Mississippi State all year.
Yeah. This was Beniquez Brown, number 42.
I think what was Auburn in the red zone, 3 times and didn't score a touchdown against them in that Auburn football game? Could have been completely different.
That's 4 sacks by the Mississippi State defense so far. That gives them 25 for the year. 3rd and goal. 3 wides, left side. Robinson, bottom of the screen. Looked like it was designed all the way. Tolles, touchdown.
Told you, he's a gamer. He's a cocky gamer. He looks you straight in the eye, and he's got a little of that Jim Bunning in him. I'm going to tell you that right now.
How about that? 3rd and goal from the 10. Extra point up and good. Austin McGinnis. Yeah, he kind of put it on his shoulder, didn't he?
Yeah. Beniquez Brown, number 42, actually, I thought stunted right out of this. Watch him stunt around, and the quarterback goes the opposite way. Stunts, and he's threw it unblocked on the play, and up front that time, it looked like somebody fell down. I'm not sure who it was. Was it P.J. Jones? I'm not sure, but what a call, and what a drive to keep this a football game. Reminds me of 2007. Remember, LSU extended that game to 27-14, but Kentucky stayed in the game, and then it ended up late. You got to get to the 4th quarter. Mississippi State has not been pressed into the 4th quarter.
Gary mentioned earlier in their 3-game win streak over top 10 opponents, they led by 21 at least in each of those games. And in the stands, watching his grandson, Senator Jim Bunning, Hall of Famer, his wife Mary to the left. Has some genes passed on.
Absolutely. In horse country right here, that's one thoroughbred to another, isn't it? I mean, and nobody was a more fierce competitor than Jim Bunning. It broke my heart. I was a 12-year-old in Detroit when they traded him for Don Demeter.
I've not seen you that emotional in a while.
I was a Tiger fan when I was young.
24-17. Well, the anger is still there.
Yes. Pitch the no-hitter, and they traded him.
First down 10. Pitch at the last moment. Great defensive play. That one strung out, first of all, by Jabari Johnson and then Zadarius Smith.
Strung out well this time. This time the pitch, he could not take out the end man to the line of scrimmage. It's not going to work. You got to get to the end man, and there's Mark Stoops. You can't be soft and play for a Stoops brother. I'm telling you that right now.
Play action, Prescott. Great coverage. So he has to tuck it and run, and he's wrapped up. Bud Dupree, number 2. 3rd and 6. How about these two quarterbacks, and how have they fared so far?
Kentucky quarterback's holding his own, isn't he?
False start?
Yep.
False start. Offense, number 58, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Now let the crowd really roar. Whoops. 3rd and 11. A 7-point game. Midway through the 3rd. Fumble. Prescott dives on it. 4th down.
That front 4 is giving Mississippi State trouble. Maybe that defensive line coach lit a fire on these guys, because right now they cannot handle the pass rush.
Corey, known as C.J. Johnson, number 67, first there. And Mike Douglas, number 50, was next.
Wrong. Too many men on the field. They're going to get a 5-yard penalty here. Going to be too many men on the field for Kentucky.
They call time.
It won't be. You can't.
Okay.
The flag will go down before they can call time. Won't have the option. It'll be a penalty.
Substitution infraction. Defense, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Stoops is sprinting down the field, but he was one of those Big Ten defensive backs. He could not get there in time.
Sometimes in the heat of the moment,
that's funny.
You lose.
Big Ten defensive backs could not get there.
It is funny. I'm just slow reacting.
Big Ten people don't think so.
Well,
And
Bob Stoops, Mike Stoops, and Mark Stoops all played at Iowa defensive backs. Yep. 48-yard punt. Nada on the return. Mark Stoops at 47, the youngest of 4 Stoops brothers. Ron Stoops, defensive coordinator, Cardinal Mooney High School in Youngstown. Ron Stoops Jr. is the linebackers coach now. Bob Stoops at Oklahoma, Mike at Oklahoma, and of course Mark here. Remarkable family. This was taken with Dee and Ron some years ago. For more on this family, let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Vern. I asked Coach Stoops, with so many football minds in the family, what was the dinner table like growing up? He said it was dark. And I said, what do you mean? He said, my dad used to have the old 16-millimeter film, and he'd play film during dinner, and he'd use the refrigerator as the backdrop. Now, those same 16-millimeter film machines still exist at the high school he played at, and he said it's his goal to get one in his office one day so he can show his kids and players how you really watch film.
Yeah, we say film now. Hasn't been the case in 25 years.
Nope, it's tape now.
Yeah. First down and 10. Tolles That's batted down. Chris Jones.
Chris Jones playing usually a defensive tackle, a little bit more defensive end in this football game right here. Reads it well. You can tell he's not an elite defensive end pass rush specialist, but he can sure plug up the end of the line of scrimmage for the run game. And the way Kentucky ran the ball, you can understand why he's in the game.
Yeah, and he takes a very wide split here. 2nd down and 10. Little adjustment defensively. Here's Tolles looking left all the way. Boy,
man.
Deontay Evans.
Yes. He shifted to it late, and Patrick Tolles did not see it. So he thinks he's in a linebacker position, and he shifts to it late and could have had a pick 6. That was one of those home run sliders that Granddad Jim threw over the plate that the guy swung right through.
3rd and 10 in a 7-point game. 6:06 to go in the 3rd. Stunts defensively. Tolles chased. Lets it go, and it is incomplete.
Great answer from this Mississippi State defense. 3 straight dominating plays. Knocked down the first pass, almost intercepted the second pass, and then that front 4 or 5, how many they rush, took Kentucky's quarterback completely out of it.
Landon Foster this afternoon averaging just under 45 yards per punt. This is his 4th. And Jamoral Graham is back deep.
Remember, they went for the block early. They must think they can block a kick.
No, return all the way. Great punt. Ooh, boy. Graham muffs it. Did he get it back? They're still scrambling for it. Yeah, he got it.
He muffed one that we had before. He struggled back there. Remember, that's a position that really he did not own. That was Damian Lewis's position, but he's backing up, and the true freshman has struggled catching punts.
Now Red Lobster presents today's Scholar Athlete. It's Jordan Swindle. Right tackle, GPA 3.89, has pre-medical aspirations and a member of the SEC Academic Honor Roll. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future shown today by donating $1,000 to the University of Kentucky's General Scholarship Fund. 1st down 10 at the 19, 7-point game. Robinson.
Yeah, do they go back to him? Yep.
Now he had yardage. They should spot this. Oh no, he's still up. Oh my gracious.
Geez, that's a highlight film run for...
He morphed into Johnny Manziel.
Holy cow. I almost was ready to agree with you that his forward progress was called and say, let's not get the guy hurt. But he keeps running, and 2 or 3 times you think the play's over. I think he broke 6 or 7 tackles on that play. If that can't pick up Mississippi State's offense, I don't know what will. That's like having 6 carries in 1 right there.
23 yards after all of that. Prescott going deep. He's got a man wide open. Robert Johnson, number 12, huge gain.
I mean, for a guy to cross completely across the formation, Robert Johnson goes all the way here. The receivers go long. Now, for a guy to run about 45 yards across a football field to the open territory, that means that offensive line did their job.
1st down 10. As Damian Lewis, number 4, goes into a bit of a bunch formation on the right side. Prescott goes deep. Battle for it, incomplete.
Call it this time, though.
Derunya Wilson battling with Nate Willis. Number 21, there is a flag.
Now, you do not have to look back. You can face guard, but you can't put two hands on them and face guard. In college ball.
Defense. Number 21. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Glad you helped me understand that.
Yes. You know, you got to hand this drive completely to Josh Robinson. Okay? Start off, he got it with his hand, but the flag was already been out before that. Okay? I mean, you talk the opening drive, it was Josh Robinson, and that first run right there just set the whole series up.
That was almost breathtaking.
It was.
I mean, what effort. First and goal. Under 5 to go, third quarter of play. Prescott fires it, got a man, caught. Touchdown, Brandon Hill. Touchdown, only his third catch of the season, and he's injured his left leg.
Yeah, let's hope it's like a cramp. When he tried to stand up, that's when it grabbed him. This was a quarterback play-action pass made famous by Dan Mullen and Tebow at Florida. The quarterback does the play-action pass by himself. The tight end runs the route. Watch this. Quarterback play-action, stop, one-on-one. You're up against A.J. Stamps, an undersized safety, and when the big guy tries to stand up, oh, cramp. I hope it's a cramp.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. These are tightly wound athletes. Nice touch on that pass. What a drive, but let's hand it to Josh Robinson.
Another look at Brandon Hill's catch. Yep.
Cramp, pulled, flexor muscle, you never know. But he got his touchdown first, and he can go to the sideline. Great call by Dan Mullen there. Give an assist, obviously, like I said, probably 4 times already, to Josh Robinson. I mean, as good as Dan was calling plays, this doesn't happen without that guy busting 6 tackles.
Not at all. Extraordinary run, 23 yards. Josh Robinson to set up. That was only a 3-play drive. 81 yards. 23, then 36, and then the touchdown. Evan Sobiesk with the extra point. Allie LaForce informing us that they're diagnosing this as a pulled muscle in his thigh. Well, load up the highlight reels and begin with this run.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Incredible.
Well, I think the Napa Auto Parts guys ought to be smiling. I think we've got a leader in the clubhouse. Wonderful drive put together in 3 quick plays. That's Brandon Hill, who caught the touchdown, pulled a muscle in his left thigh. And Dak Prescott, 9th career game with both a passing TD and a rushing TD. Mississippi State won its last 3 last year, its first 6 this year.
That was such impressive touches on both of those throws. He laid it up on the first one for the big play in the crossing route and touched it over in the other. Believe me, the pro scouts will love that touch. They know he can throw hard, but that touch was magnificent.
Well, they've covered the most memorable games and competed at the highest. We're in an apartment in Atlanta for 2 months. I got to talk to the guys in the office. They don't carry the CBS Sports Network.
Well, I got DirecTV.
Well, oh my gosh! Now you've got it for a long time.
At 10 o'clock, I'm watching one of those CSIs on CBS. I'm not sure which one, but I'm watching one.
But I've sure read the reviews, and the reviews have been outstanding. We need to talk. 31-17, 4:34. Maybe we'll get it on the.
Yeah, so, Vern, Mississippi State, when Kentucky scored, went back to Robinson, the answer for the first drive. What does Kentucky come back to? Can anyone help their quarterback? Is it all the quarterback?
catch is made by Garrett Johnson, number 19. Now let's go back to the studio for a Ford update. Here's Adam.
Back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you. Quick flip out to the left side.
Oh, what a play.
DeMarco Robinson and Trevez Calhoun said,
Another one of those seniors, okay, gets blocked on the play, one-on-one, gets knocked down, and makes the play. Got about 13 seniors that make plays for this Mississippi State team.
Ball's deep. Javis Blue, touchdown, Kentucky. Blue for Blue.
Number 14 for Kentucky might not need any help. There's nobody in the country who can throw a ball better than this. He had the matchup he wanted. Blue on a safety. What a throw.
McGinnis for the extra point. And just like that,
Zach Johnson was in defense on that throw. He's a slash linebacker safety, but you can't hand it off better than he threw it.
pesky Wildcats. They refuse to go away. Brings a smile to Tolles.
True freshman that Stoops has recruited, but two seniors, Robinson and Blue, have made the big plays for Kentucky. Of course, the guy pitching it to him is pretty good.
As the country is learning, along with us. Muffed in the end zone, dropped to a knee. Another look at the touchdown throw.
Here's the matchup, and right now the quarterback knows he's got his inside receiver on a safety linebacker. They're playing two-man coverage. The safeties are wide. He's got the perfect matchup. He didn't hesitate. He ripped that throw in there. God, I'm actually a little jealous of that guy to throw that. He's got Zach Mettenberger arm strength.
Mettenberger getting a start in the NFL this week. Here's Prescott. Gang tackle. And the gang led by Ryan Flanagan, a junior college transfer in his first year here.
And Mark Stoops, that was one of those wins that Mark had in the recruiting battle. When you looked at what 33 Flanagan, he came to Kentucky over Oregon. That was the two schools he was thinking about.
That's not two football programs you usually put in the same sentence.
No, but they run fast to both sides.
Prescott, play action. Nice.
Play. Great ball placement to the outside, that too.
Fred Ross with the catch.
Dak Prescott led his receiver away from the defense. Watch him throw it to the outside, away from the defense, and a well-received ball there. That's when you depend on him. Throw him out there where your guy can get him and nobody else.
Ball just outside the 35 on first down 10. Robinson again. Boy, he's tough to bring down.
Unbelievable. I mean, he's got a bit of Jerome Bettis in him, the way he's running the ball, isn't he?
Well, he has a low center of gravity, doesn't he?
Yep.
Robinson, his high school team, Franklinton, Louisiana, played Prescott's high school team in the quarterfinals their senior year, and Prescott's team lost to Josh Robinson. Play action. Too high. Fred Brown, the intended receiver. Fred Tiller defending.
It was second and a yard. When I saw a pass, I thought it would be a deep one, you know, but they went for a curl route. Now they can pick up the short yardage play right here. At least that's the plan, right?
Dylan Day, the The center will snap it back. Prescott. It's going to be close. Let's see what kind of spot they get. They will get the spot.
Boy, it was goal line defense basically for Kentucky there. They had everybody inside. They sold out. Jabari Johnson was in on the play. Everybody was there.
First down 10.
Well, we talked to Mark Stoops, and by the way, when we were talking to him, if you close your eyes and you listen to Mark talk, it's Bob Stoops exactly, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Exactly like.
Well, there's a great physical resemblance among the brothers, but the speech patterns, extraordinary. Prescott across the middle, got it. Fred Brown.
Right. Yeah, the big difference is Bob makes a lot more money, but that might be changing too soon, too. Another great route. Listen, what receiver do you want to stop for Mississippi State? If you're lining up and playing defense, and you're this Kentucky defense, who do you want to stop? Because he throws it to almost anybody.
Prescott 3 yards shy of 200 for the day. Throw it. He's got good protection again. Double team down the middle. Intended for Gabe Miles and incomplete.
Yeah, I thought on first down there he should have dumped that to the check down. Got a little too aggressive on that. First down play, if it's not there for the big play, you need to check it down. I think the running back checks down here very nicely. A little crowded for a first down throw. Look at that nice throw down to the running back. It could have been at least second and 4 yards.
Final minute, third quarter, 7-point game, 31-24. Robinson. Barrington Huguenin, number 91, with that stop.
It's got to be 4-down territory. The way they kick field goals, Dan Mullen has to be calling this play thinking he's got 2 shots at picking it up.
Well, one decision not to be forgotten was Mullen's decision to put the young freshman in for his first field goal try ever in the first half, and he hooked it badly. Logan Cook, here's Prescott. 4th down. After 35. No way they go for the field goal.
No, but that was a sack basically that time. And we'll go to the 4th quarter with exactly what Kentucky wanted. A one-possession football game. It couldn't be much better for Kentucky football.
End of 3 at Commonwealth Stadium. 31-24, Mississippi State. We'll return to Lexington right after this word from your local station. We're back at Commonwealth Stadium on the campus of the University of Kentucky, quarter number 4. Outstanding ball game thus far, 31-24. Top-ranked team in the country has the lead on the road, but it is competitive. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce, and a 4th down and 10 for Mississippi State.
5 receivers on the field, and you have no idea who they're going to throw the football to.
Prescott under pressure from Dupree, lets it go. The ball goes over on downs.
Fourth and long. Watch the secondary coverage. 7 people back. No one really open. But he didn't have much time. Because as Vern told you, Alvin Bud Dupree came off the edge. Oh, just whipped on the outside by Justin Sonor, and that forced the turnover, well, the end of downs and the ball back to Kentucky.
Tolles. He'll kick it. Matt Wells with the tackle.
Yeah, I thought, see, that's that same leg that I thought he bumped earlier. You know, and he got hit again, and you can see it. When you get one helmet on it, then you get another one, it just accumulates through the game.
Second down 10. Pressure. Got him.
It's the strength of the football team for Mississippi State.
5 sacks. This one, Caleb Ewells, number 92.
That's where their players are. That's are the difference makers up front. When you play Mississippi State, you have to control those guys.
Third down 16 now.
5 sacks, and remember, in 4 SEC games, Kentucky's only given up 7 sacks on the season. 5 of them today.
Only 3 down now for Mississippi State. They bring those 3, screen pass left. Waylon Hurd caught from behind and dropped. And it will be 4th down.
It's the second big series by Mississippi State. Remember, they forced the 3 and out down here early in the 3rd quarter when Kentucky had that ball and the crowd's going crazy. Now again, something bad happens to their offense, their defense answers and gets the stop.
Landon Foster is on to punt on 4th and 7. Jamoral Graham muffed his last attempted punt return. He is back at the 20 for the Bulldogs. Up around the head. J.D. Harmon, special teams star for this team, made the tackle.
I'll tell you, Dan Mullen believes in this kid, doesn't he?
Yes.
He's used him all year. He thinks he's going to be a future star, and he goes with him.
First down and 10. 7-point game. First drive of the game, Josh Robinson unimpeded rushed in. Mississippi State up by 7, but Kentucky answered on their first drive. Down the left side, right side rather, Robinson with a busted tackle after the 67-yard return. The reception, we were tied at 7. A field goal, and then Prescott from 2 yards out for the game at this moment. Prescott a total of 308 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has thrown 1 interception. This was his longest run of the day. That was 38 yards. Prescott with this 11-yard touchdown. Great balance that made it 24-10. But Patrick Tolles responded with his own run, 24-17. And it's been a slugfest since then. Here's Prescott, his tight end Brandon Hill in the end zone, 31-17. But Javis Blue caught this perfectly thrown pass from Tolles, 58. And here we are, early moments, 4th quarter. You thought if Kentucky could get it to this spot in a competitive situation, they've got a heck of a chance.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're 5-0 at home. They've never been 6-0 in this stadium for Kentucky football. Mississippi State is carrying the burden of being the #1 team in the country on the road. This is the smallest margin lead they've had in the 4th quarter all year.
Prescott, that one was tipped, but into the arms of Fred Brown, number 5.
I think Dak Prescott, the way he limped off, let's keep an eye on him. Is he going to be reduced just to a pocket passing quarterback and handing the ball off to Josh Robinson, which is not a bad combination.
Not at all. Second down and 1. Robinson caught short. Melvin Lewis, number 90, with the tackle for Kentucky.
pressure by Melvin Lewis that time. That's the guy we featured as somebody that has to come through for them with his size, taking on that offensive line up front. I really believe they got to run past Scott here. This is too important of a first down. You got to have your quarterback go over the top.
They give it to Robinson. He breaks the tackle. Foot race at the 30. How about the cutback? Josh Robinson angles for the touchdown.
My goodness. I for sure thought that they would go over the top for a short yardage play by the quarterback and do one of those keepers. They give it to their human bowling ball. He runs right through Mike Douglas, number 50, and then makes one cutback into the end zone. What an incredible football game from Josh Robinson.
That one 73 yards. The extra point from Sobiesk is up and good. Robinson's high for the season, 197 yards. We've got almost a full quarter to go, and he's got 185 in this one.
Yeah, Fred Ross, his teammate had to jump out of the way, or he might have made the tackle on the play. Hey, give it to Dan Mullen. He chose the right guy, and it changed the scoreboard.
Cowbells on the road, which gives pleasure to all of us. Oh, I'm going to hear about it. I know. We've got an air raid siren here. All we need is the Tennessee band playing Walkie Top. Braylon Hurd. Well, let's take a real overview of the touchdown run.
The play should have been stopped. They're running the zone read off the defensive end. Kentucky had the right defense. Mike Douglas misses the play. Unblocked on the play. Runs through one tackle. The defense breaks down. And then Josh Robinson breaks a few hearts. Hey, Patrick Tolles is going, all right, give me the ball.
Robinson known for a couple of things outside his running ability, the gregariousness of his personality being uppermost. He always seems to have a smile on his face. Tolles. Out of bounds.
It's like a one-man team.
Yep.
He's thrown the ball 28 times. He's run the ball 19 times. All the rest of the running backs have only carried the ball 9 times. I mean, you know, all due respect to Dak Prescott, and he's a great player, but right today, it was a one-man team for Kentucky.
DeMarco Robinson. That's a first down. Zach Jackson with the tackle.
We got our production meeting. I looked at everybody. I said, this guy's got no fear. No fear at all.
Catch made by Dorian Baker. He actually did Patrick Tolles. He played 5 games his true freshman year and then sat out all of last season. In the offseason, he worked on shortening his release, right, and his footwork, both of which were problems.
Said he tried to throw the ball too hard. He's a little quicker, gets the ball back and forward quicker.
Tipped by Preston Smith. Third and 5.
Top of the screen over there. Jamerson Love. Historian Baker. Whoa.
6 sacks.
Again, that front grouping. Preston Smith. I think Zach Jackson got his answer, number 14. He goes, was it 14 that came in? Also, yes.
Yep.
So he goes, all right, you got me once on a pass. It's a lot better getting the quarterback. Another answer for that Mississippi State defense.
Landon Foster on the punt again on 4th and 12. This is his 6th punt of the ball game. Jamoral Graham is back, fair catch. And it's grabbed and taken at the 12-yard line. 6 sacks, Mississippi State, the latest from Preston Smith. When he was a freshman at Florida.
Remember, Cam came into Kentucky in 2010 in his championship year and edged out a game against Kentucky on their way to a championship.
First down 10. Miles. And let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Vern, Dak Prescott and Coach Mullen have been all in on this team, stopping in each team meeting, giving everyone high fives and pats on the back. They've been so encouraging to the rest of the team, saying we have to string together this next offensive drive. We have to feed off of each other. We need both the offense and the defense to do well. Very encouraging towards one another and very relaxed right now.
Here's the handoff to Robinson again. This time he's caught. Yeah. Blake McClain, number 24. 9:40 to go. Third and 7. Robinson with 186 yards rushing. Prescott with 60. Design run. Prescott got a block downfield and follows it almost to the 40-yard line.
Well, Dan was right and I was wrong. That's the call I was expecting on the last short yardage play. That exact play off tackle, figuring that Kentucky would stunt inside. He was right, but either one of them would have been for the first down. This is the time of the game in the past when we remember the Alabama teams, the Georgia teams, the Auburn teams, just running the ball and eating the clock. Just get out of here with a win and forget about a tough game here.
Play action, they throw it. Caught by Fred Brown, number 5.
Play ago, he blocks. Now he snaps it. And I mean, just think about that. It's a tough league. Got to go on the road. You're known as the #1 team. And as Allie was talking about how Dan is being loose, his team is looking at Dan Mullen. He's the guy that's been through the championship at Florida. They look at how he's going to act, and he's very calm and relaxed.
6th season for Mullen. This is Nick Griffin. I'm just thinking back to Dan. Greg Byrne was the athletic director at Mississippi State. His associate was Scott Strickland. Scott is now the AD, and they decided to hire Dan Mullen. Dan and Megan's 2 children, born in Starkville. And Mississippi State quite confident that he doesn't want to leave, especially putting something together like this season.
Dangerous throw.
Yes, it was.
He trusts his quarterback. I asked Dan, what did you do in the off week with Dak Prescott? And he said, we made him pocket throw. He says, you never get too many reps from the pocket as a pocket passer. He said, maybe Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, but everybody else can always use more pocket passing experience.
Mississippi State in excess of 500 yards again today. They had fewer than 500 against Auburn, but it was in the upper regions of 460. Second down and 10. They continue to work on the clock. And Prescott stopped by Ryan Flanagan. 4 times this season for Dan Mullen, Dak Prescott has thrown for 200 and rushed for 100. 4 times. As of this moment, he's got 216 passing and 87 on the ground.
Well, Mississippi State struggled in the second half on 3rd down against Auburn, our last game. But they're 8 for 13 in this game right now. They need another one here.
get it. Nice play by Fred Tiller again. And Derunya Wilson, the intended receiver, taps him on the helmet.
Yeah, Fred Tiller wasn't going to back up. He was playing the sticks. He was expecting a slant pass. He guessed right. Remember that call by Gus Malzahn against Kansas State when they went slant and go? If you had guts to dial it up there, it would have been a touchdown because they were playing the sticks.
Devin Bell on to punt. Just did bounce into the end zone.
Oh, still a ball game here. Telling you, still a football game.
6:45 to go in the ball game.
He's still limping too, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Josh Robinson put together a dazzling 23-yard run, and then this one, 73 for the touchdown. 62,000 plus. Dak Prescott limping off. Remember, he took that helmet to the knee in the first half. First down 10.
And the schedule gets to be more of a grind. After that LSU game, they only, in those days, only played Texas A&M and Auburn. Now they're on the grind of 6 straight weeks. No time for an injury.
Patrick Tolles.
Oh, what a
He's got a man all by himself. Ryan Timmons.
What a pass route by Ryan Timmons. He's going to fake the corner route and then go to the post. Watch him lean, lean, and lean. Watch him lean, lean, and then beat across the safety's face right there to make the play. Kevon Coleman, number 11, had no chance.
55-yard gain, 6:23 to go. Tolles tipped and then knocked down by Cleveland. Garrett Johnson, the intended receiver.
The backup defensive linemen are in the game. You don't have their big stars. Smith's not in there. They've got the second group in there.
6:20 remaining in the ball game. 14-point margin.
Look how white those jerseys are right there.
Here's Tolles. Bangs his way around the right side. Cole Mosher leading the way. And that was his 21st run of the ball game. 80 yards.
Yeah, 6 of them were sacks. So 15 runs, 6 sacks. But you know what I know sacks? You get hit. So they almost feel like runs at the end of the play.
3rd and 4.
Got to be 4 down territory, obviously, under 6 minutes.
Ryan Timmons.
We asked Mark Stoops, and the receivers have done a lot of good things. I give them that. And I said, Mark, if you had one group in this game that you would want to come through, he'd say my receivers. We're going to have to score points. We can't shut these guys out. And that's what he's talking about, those key plays from those wideouts. He's had 2 or 3 drops and 3 or 4 really good plays by those guys.
4th and 4. Man rush. Into the corner it goes. Timmons bobbled it. Kevon Coleman, number 11, defending.
What a throw. This ball should have been caught. He laid it up. He put it right down the chimney. Corner route on the safety. You can't ask any better than that. That's the matchup. Good route. Perfect throw. And dropped. Actually, you know what? Coleman got his hand. Watch him tug the arm after, right? There. Watch him tug, but I think he was really bobbling it. It was very bang, bang, but no huge play made by the receiver. Great defense, a great throw, a lot of good things, but no spectacular catch.
.26 to go. Prescott gets the snap. Robinson. A couple.
He can't tackle the guy, can't knock him down.
It's unbelievable. And a comparison, 324 for Patrick Tolles. 2 touchdowns, no interception. Just about equal in rush yards.
Well, if you took away the sacks,
yeah,
I mean, those
that's
aren't
a very good
Tolles,
point.
You know, I mean,
one of these days.
Yeah, they should put it in the passing end.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of coordinators we talk to that when quarterbacks scramble, they tell their defense that counts as passing yards against the defense. They don't want it in their rush stats.
Robinson again.
Third and short.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Okay.
Either the quarterback or Robinson.
You don't think they'll do the wide receiver reverse right here?
It's either Dak or number 13.
You really? You make a lot of money for sticking yourself out on the edge of the limb like that.
Bleed the clock all the way down, I'm sure of that.
Yep. 4:34 to go. Both teams do have their full complement of 3 timeouts. 3rd and 2. They just do snap it with 1 second left. Here comes Prescott.
Didn't have the wheels.
No, he didn't.
He's hurt.
You can tell.
He did not get it.
Khalid Henderson with the tackle.
Yeah, Kentucky's going to take a timeout right here.
Prescott stopped short by Henderson. .409 to go. A little concern on the part of the Kentucky fans. And look at Dak Prescott.
I was not surprised that he carried the ball, obviously.
Right.
But I am surprised the type of play, running wide with his speed obviously not there.
Devin Bell on the punt. DeMarco Robinson grabs it at the 20. Still got it. Out near the 29-yard line. Patrick Tolles. What a day he's had.
Yeah, he's got the big arm. He's got extreme confidence. He's the unquestioned leader of the football team ever since that Florida game. He runs it better than people think. And Kentucky has themselves a quarterback. That's about as pretty as the throws you'll ever see.
324 yards throwing it, 80 yards rushing it. And they've got a first down with just under 4 to go. Throwback. Tolles got it. First down. Garrett Johnson took the handoff and threw it back to the quarterback. Nice. Complete.
Yep.
Dorian Baker.
Yep. Good defense, though, for Mississippi State. They kept them short of the first down. Keeps the clock moving.
.317 to go. Blake Bone, number 6, the freshman.
I believe in last year's game, should Kentucky put one on here, I think they onside kicked it, got it, but were offsides in the game.
Tolles got a man in the middle of 3 defenders. That's Javis Blue.
There's not a lot of men that can make that throw. First of all, you got to know where to throw it. Secondly, you've been sacked 6 times in this game, and you rip it over the quarterback, over the safety, into the heart of the defense.
Flag down. Blake Bone fumbles it out of bounds. It will be Kentucky's possession, but let's check.
Yeah, I think it was an illegal. Well, they went fast. Did Mississippi State have too many men? I thought it was an illegal formation. I think they have too many people in the backfield. One of those receivers should have been at the line of scrimmage.
Offside. Defense, number 5. That penalty is received. Result of the play is a first down.
2:48 to go.
Oh, God, number 5 right there was trying to get off the field, and then he went back on the field.
Jamerson Love, yes. First and goal. Into the end zone, knocked away by Will Redmond, number 2.
Will Redmond is a big-time corner. A junior, great hitter, one-on-one cover guy, and makes up the space and makes the play. Saw a lot of throws high in the back of the end zone. Look for Blake Bone, number 6, at the back of the end zone.
Second down. Change. Quarterback draw. Tolles. Touchdown.
Oh, that's going to be 15 yards. Tolles gets up and celebrates, and somebody knocks him down. It's going to be 15 yards on the kickoff. Is it Wells, number 22? Well, it was a bit of an acting job.
Yes,
I'll have
it was.
to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wells is kind of going, come on. He was celebrating. He bumped into me. The guy's 6'5", 235 pounds. I did not knock him down. Watch this. They just basically bump. His arm is extended, but I think sold by Patrick Tolles. And now you wonder because of the extra 15 yards.
After the play was over, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 22. Attempted to be 15 yards assessed on the kickoff.
You wonder if it makes it more likely that they go for the onside kick.
They have not attempted one this year, has Kentucky. Touchdown, extra point coming. Austin McGinnis, perfect so far this season. And he still is.
Quarterback draw. He scored last time on a quarterback draw. He does it again. Good block up front, taking the All-American linebacker out of the play. McKinney. The big center, John Toth, gets the key block on the play.
Well, we got 2:31 remaining. Stay tuned for the Dodge postgame show on CBS Sports. But we're going to give you a heck of a finish here, I think. 38-31. Dan Mullen. A chance for coaching here.
You know, if you, with the 15-yard penalty, you can do the deep onside pooch. You can pooch it down there, take a run for it. If you don't get it, you play defense, and you're going to get the ball back one more time.
And Kentucky has 2 timeouts remaining. Mississippi State has all 3. Mark Stoops.
Both teams now over 500 yards in total offense, and Mark Stoops says, I thought this was a defensive conference. I came here to play defense. That's former Kentucky football player that he's talking to right there, his offensive coordinator, Neil Brown. Neil played back in the day with Tim Couch.
And shortly after that, Rich Brooks became the head coach here. And Rich is in the stadium. One of the nice guys in the profession. Rich Brooks, retired, has a place in Oregon.
See, you can pooch this ball down here and make a run for it, okay? Mississippi State has to stay up close looking for the onside kick.
Now, both Landon Foster and McGinnis are at the ball.
Boy, the high lob to about the 15-yard line would be nice if you could do it.
First onside attempt this year. They bounce it, it's taken. Holmes has it. Holmes in a foot race, a stiff arm. He's down the sidelines. Touchdown, Mississippi State. Christian Holmes, the linebacker.
Those faces say it all. I thought the deep pooch was the play. The bounce was not pretty. It was perfect for Mississippi State. And Christian Holmes, the defense, makes a play with a straight arm and a dive into the end zone.
Senior linebacker out of Puckett, Mississippi. Now, Mark Stoops looks like he lost the feature race at Keeneland.
After the onside kick, I thought it opened up the possibility for a different style onside. After the penalty, in the end zone. Thought they had a chance to try something different. But as Dan Mullen talked to us on the phone, he said, you know what's funny about this team is I got a ton of guys that make plays. Just a ton of guys. Hey, sure.
Mark Stoops.
Yeah, they had a tough special team week last week for Kentucky, and that one was a tough one to take. The strategy was okay. The execution was not. Well, Patrick Tolles can come out and throw for some more yards.
Sure.
He's at 380.
He's had a marvelous game.
Wow. You know, that redshirt year last year, he's his third year in the program, has really helped him. It's a great idea for quarterbacks. Don't be in too much of a hurry to play too soon.
Patrick Tolles, under the coaching of a quarterback coach, Donnie Walker, and talked with us yesterday about, you understand the techniques, obviously. He was dipping in his throwing motion.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a wind-up to it. And I said, can you really change at your age? He said, I did change. I mean, he's matter of fact, he doesn't back down, does he?
No.
Not at all.
No.
I like to throw some tough questions at these guys, and boy, he stares right at you. I mean, he's a thoroughbred. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to play at the next level.
45-31, 2:22 to go. Into the flat, dropped. Well, let him a little bit. That was Braylon Hurd, number 5. Dak Prescott.
And remember, 6 games. What was it, 35 days? This is the start. So, you know, those injuries do not go away.
Three-man rush, Mississippi State, Tolles. Redmond defending DeMarco Robinson.
Just the subtlety right there. I really like the way this kid plays, Will Redmond. The subtlety of Redmond, cutting off the receiver without sticking up his hands, knowing that his technique, we'll see how he looks back at the ball, doesn't use his hands at all. It's perfect technique.
3rd and 10. That's the 7th sack, and Tolles does maintain possession.
Yeah, Mike Wells got him back. It was Mike Wells who shoved him in the end zone for 15, and now Wells comes and goes, here I am. No fake it on this one. I'm coming right around the corner and getting the sack.
Loss of 8.
7 sacks.
Chris Jones, number 96. Again, now they've got 3 down, 1 up. See if they all rush. They do. Here's Wells. Tolles. Complete. Waiting Hurd.
Well, there's always those games, Vern, when you're the #1 team in the country, you got to survive. And, you know, every team that Mississippi State has played prior to this one was an undefeated football team. Now they come to Kentucky, who's undefeated at home, and they take a punch, and they're still standing.
Well, let's take a look at the comparative schedules, Gary, of the top 4 in the West.
You know, I still think, you know, LSU's getting better, and Alabama's schedule is toughening up, okay? It's not an easy schedule for Alabama. I don't know who to choose here. These are tough football games. They're going to beat everybody up, and I'm telling you right now, I would not want Auburn's. The rest of them are about equal.
Yep. Josh Robinson closing in on a 200-yard day. See if they give it to him again. That was his 23rd carry in the ball game. He's equaled his season high now with 197.
Coming up from, as we just saw for Mississippi State, is Arkansas. I think that's a great matchup for Mississippi State. And then they basically get a bye with UT Martin. I think they're going to go into Alabama and Tuscaloosa undefeated. Take
a knee, so Robinson's day is complete. 197 yards. Look, he's got his hands on his hips. I need 3.
I need 3 yards.
I need 3 for crying out loud.
We got a 198. No.
Yeah, Dan,
you can't get him hurt for doing that. You want me to call it? You want me to call it, he asked. Tell me. If you want it, I'll do it.
Oh, my gosh. That's an extraordinary exchange.
Yep.
Oh, golly. Now he's going to walk off disappointed after a 197-yard effort. Oh, gosh. They made it 198 now. Yep. Dan Mullen, Mark Stoops, midfield.
No such thing as moral victories in this league, but I think Mark Stoops definitely has showed the Kentucky fans they are on the right path.
Yep. Now the player of the game, Josh Robinson, Franklinton, Louisiana. 5'9", 215. And let's go down to Allie, who is with Dan Mullen.
Coach, it's never easy in the SEC. This is the most that you've been challenged in the second half of a game, and I believe this is called being photobombed.
Yeah.
Video bombed.
It is. Well, you know what? That's what this league is. Anytime you're on the road, what's up, Z? Great job. Good job, man. And good luck the rest of the way. You know you're going to be in for a tough challenge. This is one heck of a football game. One heck of a football team we just played right here. We knew that coming in. I don't know if people give Kentucky the credit, Mark the credit for the job that he's done, how hard he has these guys playing, the atmosphere, the crowd he's created, the effort their guys play with. We knew we'd be in for a battle. That's what we got here today.
Was Josh begging you for the extra couple yards there at the end?
He did. He was. Someone told him, which is the wrong thing to do. So, you know what? We're fortunate to get a win. It's hard to win on the road in this league. We're halfway through the conference schedule undefeated, so we're halfway to where we want to be.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Allie, thank you. And now I think that might be Megan Mullen.
It is.
Yeah,
I think Dan's going to have to kiss Josh tonight, too.
Well, here's the Napa play of the game. It's worth about 16 looks. 1 tackle missed. It's Josh Robinson. No, I beg your pardon. This is the 73-yarder.
Right.
And he scores the touchdown. And let's listen to Mississippi State's radio broadcaster, Jim Ellis.
Prescott, now they bring a linebacker in, and they again get it, and a good hold, and breaking free is Robinson over the 40, over the 50, foot race in the middle of the field, at the 40, at the 30, cuts it back to the 20. Well, great cut back, he's headed for the end zone, he will score a touchdown. Robinson with a beautiful run of some 72 yards, and the Bulldogs not only picked up the first down, they picked up the touchdown.
I think the final thing Dan Mullen has to do is get through the next 2 weeks. Challenge his team to beat Arkansas without using Dak Prescott too much. Give him 2 weeks to get healthy for Alabama.
Well, this is Dan and Megan's son. Daughters in the vicinity, I'm sure. 45-31 the final. For the guys up here with us, David Moulton, Butch Baird, Chuck Gardner, and the lead guys down in the truck. Craig Silver, our producer. Steve Milton, our director. Gary Danielson and Allie the Force. I'm Vern Lundquist, so long from Lexington. 45-31, the Dodge postgame show is up next after these messages and a word from your local station.